Mann. I'm the Managing Director of Mann Racing, and we're here today in the Ken Miles Cup to celebrate 60 years of the Ford Mustang and 60 years of Mann Racing. And so we're running this car and a few others in what could be a very exciting race. Mann Racing is a regular at Goodwood and has been for 60 years now. But yes, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of invitations to these events, and they're the most dear events to our heart. So it's a very special honour to be here in some strength with Mann Racing cars. My father started the team in 1964. It was a Ford factory team back in those days, and in fact he tested the first ever Mustang that was ever in Europe here at Goodwood in February '64, before they were even launched. The first racing Mustang ever won was my father's team in '64, and it's been going ever since. Goodwood are doing this one-off race for Mustangs, and this is the first generation of Mustang, the first body style that came out, and these are the cars that are mostly raced in Europe and in America as well in this specification. So that's why there's 30 of them out here today. It's certainly, in my experience of driving these cars, especially in an event like this where there are lots of people and lots of activity, lots of fans, then it does get the adrenaline flowing and you feel pretty sick pulling up to the start line. But once the flag drops, it's all good and you can focus, and the feeling of concentration and focus is very rewarding. It's a two-driver 45-minute race with a pit stop for a driver change. That has to happen between 15 and 30 minutes in the race. Jim Farley is starting the car and Steve Soper will get in second. Drivers are always briefed never to have any sort of accident, but that briefing doesn't always stick in the brain, I don't think, when the visor comes down. You're not allowed to pit on a safety car at Goodwood, so given that there's a fairly high probability of safety car in a very close single make race like this, that could put the cat amongst the pigeons. We'll see how the strategy works out, but we'll have to be flexible and quick on our feet, I think.
I raced professionally for 30 odd years for only manufacturers, never sponsorships. So for Fiat, Austin Rover, Ford for 3-4 years in 86, 87, 88, and then BMW for the last 11 years. And then I stopped in 2000 and still have the addiction and the will and enthusiasm to keep going round and round in circles with historic racing. Ken Miles Cup, you have to treat it with a lot of respect, and this whole meeting we have to treat with respect, but I love the circuit, fantastic. I think Ken was a very underrated driver in his day. He deserved a lot more credit than he got. I think he was a top guy and pushed down the whole time, and then he was tragically killed sort of at the height of his career, really. So yeah, I think it's a great sort of tribute to him, and I think he deserves it.
This is a 1965 Mustang built to what is called FIA Appendix K. So this is the rule book that governs all of these cars. We built for Steve Soper, a touring car racing legend. It was a California road car. It's stripped out and as light as we can make it and as powerful as we can make it, and incorporating 60 years of development of these cars, but still retaining the period components and the period aesthetic as much as possible. It's a couple of years old. It's a new built race car, but this team has been running Mustangs since they were new back in '64, so there's a fairly long pedigree with the brand. We hope this car will perform well because it's been tested very well and it's been well built, we hope. So we hope that it goes forward in the race and finishes in one piece. this car's running on synthetic fuel today, as are all the cars in this grid, and it's actually been a painless process for us. We've dropped it straight into the car and it's run without any problem. This is top speed, 150 mile an hour or so, got 460 horsepower, weighs 1,200 kilos, so it feels pretty fast, and you still run on 1965 style tyres, so it's sliding all over the shop basically. Good fun to watch, good fun to watch.
Good start though from Davies and Matheson. Poor start from Whittaker. 99 Mustang chasing down the number 9 red Mustang of Davies. Looking to the left, looking to the right. Which way does Prio pick? In the end, he has to settle to stay behind.
Maybe a little bit too far away. Just looks like Prio's Mustang quite hasn't got the legs down the straight compared to that of Davis's Mustang.
Top 3 drivers still not coming through the pits there. It's Fred Shepherd who leads in the number 47 Mustang, but this is the battle that is raging on. It's Andy Prio in the number 99 yellow Mustang fighting off Alex Buncombe. Here we go then, 24 minutes left of this race, and Fred Shepherd has cried enough, and he comes into the pits, waiting to hand that 47 car over to Timo Bernhard. Good restart for Andrew Jordan, who's got a jump on the field. Darren Turner and Gordon Shedden neck and neck coming through Madrick. It's Gordon Shedden chasing down Darren Turner.
Long slight uphill straight. Is Rob Huff going to brave it round the outside? Who's latest on the brakes? It looks like it could be Rob Huff. Tom Ingram kicking up some grass. Let's have a look how they are at the effort. And a great move by Rob Huff, who sails past Tom Ingram.
Andrew Jordan, who took over from Martin Whittaker, who did such a great stint at the beginning of this race, handed it over to Andrew Jordan out of the chicane. The rear end steps out. You can see the fist out of the window. The winner of the Ken Miles Cup, it's Andrew Jordan.
A little bit frustrating. The car wasn't performing as well as I'd hoped. That's a typical driver's excuse. It's come from the top of the book. It's not even a clever excuse. It's right at the top of the book. But it was frustrating. I mean, I just think I made a couple of places, then I slipped back, and this guy missed a gear. He slowed, coming out of the chicane, and then I ran in the back of him. You're already on the throttle, you're close, so if someone doesn't go as you do, you can't help. There's no time even to get on the brake pedal. You just bump into them, which is annoying because it's damaged it. Not a lot of grip, so a lot of sliding around, worse than cars around me. But we had a strong engine, we could pass people on the straight, but then we just lost it all back in the corners. So we needed both. To go forward, you need both. You know, they're Ford Mustang, they're 1960. This car was produced, I don't know, 63 or 62 or something. So it was never designed to go motor racing. So everything we do is a compromise. And some people, they've got their car tuned better than we did. And we're normally pretty good, but I think we had something wrong today. But it's, you know, it's not meant to go down the straight at 140 mile an hour and go round the corners as it does. It was never designed. So anything to do with a touring car, a saloon car, is a compromise, and these are big compromises. But hey, it was fun. I thought it was great. I have no idea where I finished, so but it was fun, and to drive with Jim Farley was absolutely magical. He's such a cool guy and he's such a good guy. I really loved the weekend just because of him.